What's up, guys? Jason back again covering another nutrition topic. This time we are talking about digestion. So there's that term, you are what you eat, but the correct term should be you are what you digest. And just to think about it, there's a lot of foods that we eat that we maybe are only digesting 60-70% of them. And that happens with proteins and different supplements and all kinds of foods. If your digestive system is not working at an optimal level, you are not going to be breaking down and assimilating those foods. So let's cover what affects your digestion in a positive and a negative way, what foods you can add in to promote a healthy digestive environment, and some of the foods that you can avoid at the same time. And when you know this, it's going to be unique for each person, but you can build your favorite foods that make you feel better and help build a healthy gut microbiome. And science and all these newer studies are all documenting the relationship of our gut health and our mental health, our energy, and how everything is connected, from our immune system to longevity, recovery, and so much more. So just as it's important to focus on the foods that we eat, we have to take into consideration how we eat. We've talked about this before in the past, but eating under the influence of stress creates an environment that is not optimal to be able to break down and digest food. If the body is stressed out, it's not going to be able to release the right types of enzymes. Your body's in more of a mode of fight or flight, where cortisol is higher, rather than rest and digest. So that's why it makes sense to be calm, take a deep breath, be focused while you're eating, and you're not going to be able to digest a lot of foods immediately right after a workout if your cortisol and stress level is still high. So we'll cover some of the common foods that help promote a good digestive environment and feed your microbiome, and then we'll talk about some of the things that aggravate it. But remember, this comes down to the individual, and only you can know how the food makes you feel. So we do have to remember to create awareness. When I eat this meal, how do I feel after? And maybe the next hour and so on. Because you might have a specific reaction to food, and even if the food falls into a healthy category, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's creating a healthy reaction in your body. Foods that are supportive and help promote a healthy digestive experience are going to be foods like prebiotics and probiotics. I know we hear a lot about probiotics, but it's important to get prebiotics in the forms of fruits and vegetables, and that could be things like jicama or bananas or plantains or potatoes and different types of starches that help feed that good bacteria. Things like broths and stocks contain different types of amino acids that also can help repair the gut area. So you want to think about foods that are going to digest easy and crowd in these foods, and also look into different types of cultured foods and fermented foods that have been eaten for many years. So you have things like kimchi or different krauts like sauerkraut or any sort of cultured veggies that can be the perfect condiment to be able to put with foods, things like salads, that will help you digest that much better. So foods that can make your stomach upset can be foods that are higher in sugar or with highly fermentable characteristics to them. So even certain types of fruits or vegetables that have too much sugar or fall into the FODMAP category can create excess bacteria, and that can make you feel bloated. So if you want more information on this, look up FODMAPs and get some information to possibly avoid those foods for a period of time. If your body is under a high level of stress, and that can just be fight or flight, excitement, cortisol, it's going to be more likely that your stomach is going to be irritated, and you want to make sure that you're at a calm state before you're eating these different types of foods. And then of course there's food intolerances and different digestive allergies that people have as an individual. At the same time, when you have a healthy immune system, you're getting enough sleep and recovery, you you'll tend to do better with these types of foods. But what is happening is you have an overactive immune system, and your body is attacking these types of foods similar as it would like a foreign invader or any sort of bacteria infection in your body. That causes stress. It's a cycle, and it can lead to things like leaky gut syndrome, which is an impermeable gut where things are leaking. So things like glutamine and foods that are natural like stocks and broths can actually help repair that because of the collagen, which helps fix tissue, especially in the gut, which can be very helpful to counteract some of these negative invaders that can wreak havoc on our digestive system. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration, and it's worth exploring more for you as an individual. Everything from temperature to super hot and cold foods that might interact differently. And when it comes to those high sugar foods, and if you feel bloated, you need to think about the foods that you ate, the possible combinations, and do a little bit of research to create some awareness. There are things like digestive enzymes that you can take with your foods to break them down, or you can take things like betaine, hydrochloric acid, to make sure that your stomach acid is at a good level, especially when eating some foods that are harder than others to break down, such as red meat and different fats, and so on. So it's not all about just adding a bunch of probiotics. You also need the prebiotics to be able to create that healthy gut bacteria and microbiome. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any sort of questions, let us know. And thanks for watching.